back to DeFi Degens Drip and Farm for Poverty, where on this channel, our vision is to empower the impoverished by helping you find financial freedom through crypto assets. Please subscribe and leave a comment and a thumbs up.
Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi Degens Drip and Farm for Poverty. So you guys already saw me do the update from Crypto Kings AMA with Forex, and wanted to put this out afterwards just to get you guys the content first. But I have to admit, when I first woke up, first thing I did, because we had this pump that was going on, was check the charts to see. So I didn't read the AMA, check the charts first to see how things were going. And when I saw the charts, it was immediately not what I expected to see. So then I was like, this is interesting. Then I read the chat. So I'm in a couple of chat groups with some other YouTubers, and that again wasn't what I expected to see. And then I finally listened to the AMA, and the AMA wasn't what I expected to hear. So what is the common theme there? Well, it's expectations, right? So you guys know I talk a lot about Tony Robbins on this channel and other growth mindset kind of individuals. But the minute we create expectations and we start to play out these scenarios in our heads of what we're looking for, that's when we create our own kind of self-demise and suffering, because we're painting a picture, and anything that is not of that picture, then all of a sudden we're upset. And it's rightfully so, because we only created an outcome in which we could win the game in one particular scenario, and anything shy of that makes us feel upset. So that led me to kind of look up some of his old stuff again, and I've covered this before, but I want to just highlight a few things. So this is a quote from Tony Robbins: "Trade your expectations for appreciation." He says, "We have rules and beliefs about how things are supposed to be, or how people are supposed to be, and when they do not meet our expectations, we suffer." This is 100% crypto. I mean, that's literally what the chart shows. You know, the chart is literally the manifestations of people's emotions and what they are expecting to happen. So if they're expecting to go down, they're selling because they want to get out before that happens. If they're expecting to go up, they're buying because they want to get on the train. Right? And when it doesn't go as we expect, then we suffer, right? When you buy high and sell low, that's definitely the definition of suffering. Most people never decide in advance of an experience the qualities they are committed to experiencing. They let their past expectations color the present without even being conscious of it. That speaks magnitudes right there. Like, if you look into how the conscious and subconscious mind works, we're pretty much on autopilot for like 95% of the day. Autopilot meaning that our subconscious mind is in control, and our habits is what's governing everything. Like, you don't have to think about where to go to your drawer to get your socks and underwear out, and how to get dressed anymore, how to even drive to work or catch the bus or whatever. These are all the subconscious mind doing this in the background. And if you didn't take the time to kind of consciously program that mind or pick and choose what you're focusing on, then you're just acting on autopilot, and then that autopilot runs the rest of your life, and you end up with these same situations that you're wondering, why does my life look like this? Because you haven't changed the software essentially that's running your subconscious mind. So past experience color the present without even being conscious of it. 100%, especially when you look into crypto again and looking at expectations and how things have played out before and what we're expecting them to do now. And then we're not even conscious of all of the complexities and stuff that go into, trying to have a project that is bullish or exceed market expectations and stuff like that. And lastly, this is where we're going to go for the other article I pulled up: "Where focus goes, energy flows." If you decide to focus on the negative, that is what you'll experience. If you focus on the positive, you'll bring more positivity in your life. 100% can't color that enough. This is shout out to all the fudders out there, because I mentioned this in the Telegram group that one of these guys is in, that it's just one of them. There are plenty of them, but they're choosing to highlight the questions and the uncertainty and the fear they have, and they're labeling it as, well, I'm doing my part to shed some light on things, or whatever the case may be. But there's as it says, positive and negative. So you get to choose, because technically there are two things happening simultaneously. There's the issues going on, and then there's the positive things that have happened that you can choose to highlight and evaluate. And I made an article on this, or a post on this. I'm going to bring that up for you guys at the end of this, but it ties into Schrodinger's cat paradox that we'll talk about later. So I'm going to be giving you guys some psychology and philosophy and some physics, I think, in here. But anyway, this other article that comes up is, so you look at that positive or negative, he uses this analogy. There's basically two ways to have the largest building in a city. You can build it, or you can tear everyone else's down. So do you get jealous or inspired by seeing other people succeed? So especially in crypto, that is exactly what you see. You either see like insane bullish positivity no matter what comes out, or you have other people that are telling you the token's going to crash, get out now, you're going to get wrecked, it's going to be rug pulled, whatever the case may be. It doesn't seem like there's any real room in the middle, which Tony highlights here. There isn't one. There's build it yourself or tear everyone else's down. And that's kind of what he mentioned on this page about picking the positive or the negative. So you're not really, there's really no gray area of just like, oh, I'm just telling the facts, because you choose to highlight those facts in a positive or negative light. You get that choice. And that's exactly where FUD comes in. So this other article talks about focusing on the positive, choosing gratitude and appreciation over criticism and negativity leads to attracting more of these things you can appreciate and be grateful for. So this goes into, if you're familiar with a little bit of the physiology of the body, the reticular activating system. So it's that system that kind of brings things into consciousness that's tapped into our spinal cord. So like if you ever buy a pair of shoes or an outfit or a car and you never saw it until you bought it, and then all of a sudden you see more of it the minute you own it, that is the RAS at work. It's literally bringing this into your consciousness because it assumed you wanted to know more about it because you made a conscious decision to purchase it or whatever the case may be. So this is also where, if you've listened to the movie or the book The Secret, this is where they talk about just think about it and it will become yours. That's a little woo-woo bullshit. You got to do more than that, but that's what this reticular activating system does. So how does this all tie together? So the point I'm getting at is that, yeah, when I first woke up, I had these expectations and they ended up letting me down, but then I got a chance to practice my NLP studies and dig back into Tony Robbins and stuff, and it's gave me a new perspective on what to focus on regarding this. So the simple fact that we have a 100,000 member community, we have a dev who's been in the space for quite a long time. He's got tons of projects under his belt, and he continues to put out AMAs and tell us what he's doing, and he continues to innovate and do things in the space. He's hired people on his team. He's got other stuff coming. We may not get to see it, so you just get to you pick and choose. Do you believe he's going to deliver on that, or do you not? And if you don't, then that would be the negative side, and if you do, that's positive. So once you pick your side, you just kind of roll with the punches and stick with it, right? If you focus your life's negative aspects, you will surround yourself with negative energy. There's some people in our group that got out of one of the other groups because that's exactly what happened. They didn't want to be around all the fudders and all the negativity and things of that nature. So you got to decide what you're going to focus on. And for me, that's why I made this channel. And I tell you guys this all the time. It's I did my research, and from what I can tell, yeah, Forex is genuine in the space. He's got his issues like we all do, but he's trying to do something, and that comes with a lot of setbacks, unexpected outcomes. Like you mentioned in the last one, having someone in the team you got to fire. We don't know what the hell is going on behind the scenes. So all we're doing is seeing on the outside, looking in, and then our expectations create this environment in which we're like, why aren't the charts pumping? And when they don't, we're let down. But this brings me to the Schrodinger cat paradox. So it's a really cool analogy if you've looked into it. Basically, there's this study that's using quantum physics kind of analogy or paradox. And basically the idea is if you put a cat in a box with some kind of outcome in which the cat will eventually die, and in this scenario it's putting like some kind of nuclear or atomic radiation at a very low level, so you don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but you know over time the cat will die. Same thing with like maybe a small hole for air, something that you can't quantify. The point is that the cat in the box, they say, is both dead and alive simultaneously until you open the box. Like you don't know the outcome until you open it. And that's kind of the whole point of this crypto narrative is that you get to look at the charts and decide if them going down and to the right is positive or negative. For some, it's a great buying opportunity. That's positive. For some, it's negative. The sky is falling and they lost all their money. But it's both of those simultaneously, and it's not one or the other until you make an action, i.e. the person buying made an action, so that's positive. The person selling made an action, that's negative, and they take the losses. But until you do one of those two things, it's both, right? So you have to decide what you're going to focus on. And again, where energy goes, focus flows. Or sorry, where focus goes, energy flows. Kind of backwards. So if you start to listen to all the FUD, you start to look at the charts going down and to the right, you start to listen to all the people telling you, you know, this, that, and the third about Forex, then you're going to start to believe it because your mind is going to start to focus on those things. And then you're going to end up making some really bad decisions, in my personal opinion, of course, with your investments. I told you guys before, this is the risk reward for this. You can't compare to anything else. So it's better to just ride this thing till the wheels fall off and have so much upside potential than it is to fudge your own bags and just say this isn't what I expected, or it's not on my timeline, or whatever the case may be, and you end up getting out of the project at these low prices. If you got in any time after me, because you guys follow my channel, some of you were in before me and you just come from other drip channels, but the ones that literally got in because of my channel and joined my team or whatever the case may be, yeah, it's been a tough ride for 5 months, but you have to be prepared to, you know, go all the way down with the ship, so to speak. So, but if you listen to Forex and you believe what he's saying, then the ship's not going down. It's just going to be correcting and bouncing around in some turbulent seas right now. But the once that's done, all ships will rise with drip. So that's all I can say. You know, hold on if you believe into it. If you don't, you know, get out, but leave the others to it. There's no sense in jumping in the comments, jumping in other groups and telling them your theories or all this other crap like that, and call it spreading awareness or educating people or whatever. No, it's not. It's just coloring something in a negative light or a positive light. It's up to you. But if that's the path you chose, don't try to sucker other people down your path because you've wrecked yourself and sold out or whatever the case may be. Let everybody else do their own thing. All right, guys, until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.